Welcome back, and we have just
As I
entered the chasms.
It struck me how much darker it was.
Very dark.
The shadows were.
And the dog is worried.
And although
Well,
Hang
there
on a
goes the
second.
immersion.
afraid, I couldn't help but
That'll be
Damn it,
fine. It's like
dogs.
the echoes. Oh, lordy.
Whoa!
Oh, God.
as well.
Yeah,
Oh, sheesh.
Was it
I was gonna
That's
say
also,
this is where things
That's
get
also why-
spooky.
and that's also why I like this game, is that I can save myself when I do something stupid fairly well. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Which is good.
Whoa!
That's the really same way of the video. A new record.
Oh,
jeez.
Oh.
Gosh, sheesh. Rocks.
What do you got? What do you got? Freaking butter under your feet?
It's slopes. They don't like me, and
Butter legs.
so yeah, this is where you're gonna want to start learning and utilizing momentum more. To like, oh yeah, spoilers for saying later. If you hit these flowers with your beam, they light up. And this here, if I'm correct, that message is, I think, anger or like rage or
I thought it
something
just
like
said.
that. More
I thought it just spelled out Max.
Mike's. No. Those are some. Those are some of the messages, and those are some of the messages. We'll be seeing them more later. Maddie.
Oh, there she is.
hey, Meddy.
I'm glad you came.
Now, Maddie.
I don't know how you got around here without a
I just
grapple beam,
get
but
so frustrated. They cling so desperately to what they know. Won't
Oh,
ever
God,
do
I'm-
anything.
This is
I
probably
know.
gonna ruin the character for you.
I was gonna say
No, go
this is
ahead.
why they call her Mad Maddie.
And I asked her.
yes, 'cause she want.
This?
Basically, she is
Writing?
Pocahontas.
It's like a secret language. They're done by people
Gotcha.
who-
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying hype?
They're called the strays.
This is probably gonna ruin the character for you, assuming you cared that deeply about the character. But she looks like a gender bent crazy frog.
She does
Oh
not.
God.
This one
Honestly, we
I
saw
would
the
say-
thing about it
when
though.
the eye is open.
I wouldn't say
see.
outright gender bent because the Crazy Frog is all gray and stuff, but
Whatever.
I'm just saying, if I saw Crazy Frog around here, he would not look out of place immediately. It would take a little bit.
Well, yeah, they're both frogs. They're both bluish.
It would take us. It would take half a second for me.
Hop on.
The one of
So
them,
Maddie's
the one of
on
them
her
still, the one of them still has some form of common sense.
Okay, let's go.
Oh wait, is she clinging onto our back?
Madeline climbed
Yeah,
up my
Yes.
riding piggyback.
and
Huh.
soon
I remember.
could barely
I
feel
remember
its
I
weight.
was a
Huh.
young naive kid. I remember being a young naive kid and
Winding,
thinking,
never
"Oh wow,
stopped
I
like
love Crazy Frog's song Axel F. So cool that they wrote that.
were
They did not write
long
Axel
and
F.
twisting, almost like
Crazy Frog just did covers.
core
Yeah.
had dug
Yeah,
Although I
not
did,
unlike Weird Al, actually.
although I
Well,
did
Weird
like,
Al
the,
he puts his own spin on things.
I will say though I did like
True.
the trance remix that he did of "We Are the Champions" and the one for
Strays
Last
were ordinary
Christmas.
people living in the village long ago.
Gotcha.
I don't remember seeing
But-
too much of Crazy Frog. I just only remember the one notable one where he's just clearly riding on an invisible bike.
Yeah, Axel F. That, but I'm
Seemingly
just goes nuts and destroys
Pretty much.
those.
I
Anyway,
I just never understood the appeal of Crazy Frog.
more. I felt
Okay,
No one
that
blames
exists.
you, really.
down there was getting.
I mean, the music itself was alright, but it was clearly a product of its time.
It wasn't alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna make.
Though
this.
that being said, I have seen a fair share of imitators like Gummy Bear. I think that's the one I actually saw the most, next to Crazy Frog!
Gummy Bear was the one I saw a lot of.
Yeah.
A lot of pretenders showed up. I remember a long time ago on stupid videos, and there was like a dog and it was a small dog and a fat hippo singing "The Lion
I
Sleeps
remember
Tonight."
that.
Of
In
what?
the jungle.
And to think the one thing that would be its successor in this day and age are a bunch of fucking crabs.
That and the baby that
Crabs.
the crabs that all start dancing around, and that, and of course I just paused there. That, and let's not forget the freaking child eating the sugar and telling them lies.
Oh my
Whoa.
God! Oh
Well, I
my
think
God!
those are two completely different.
That was
Well, I
was
think those
me
are two-
grumbling in frustration that I brought that up.
Oops.
I'd never heard a creature
Well, the-
sounding as terrifying.
Well, I was about to say, I think those are two kind of different things. Like, one of them's just trying to be like covers, the other's trying to do whatever it's trying
Yeah.
to do.
Who knows?
Is it bad that I actually outright? I think this is secret. I saw an arrow that was pointing this way, so I think there may be something up there. So there are some little secret dialogue investigations you can find if you go exploring on your own. What was it saying? Is it bad that I genuinely find that freaking nursery rhyme about the family of sharks to be kind of like
Ow.
the Deku scrub? No.
Whoa.
Is it actually? Is it actually
to go to my uncle's house.
is it
every
actually
single day
sad that
after
like I
school,
find
check
that
if he was home.
nursery rhyme to be kind of catchy, the whole the daddy shark do 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 do.
Oh, that
Yes, it is.
yeah, that's actually genuinely catchy. I did that as a kid.
Oh yes.
No, it isn't.
It's a nice song. Whatever.
Honestly, I don't even know what you guys
It's
are talking
catchy
about.
if you're a kid, okay?
Real quick. So there is something talking about here. So,
It made me upset.
oh jeez, I don't know why I landed on there.
Ow.
So this dialogue
They
is talking about
weren't
how
fighting, really. They were
I guess
just
the guy's mother and his uncle,
different from
I guess
each
they're
other.
siblings, they used to fight a
longed for
lot
the time
sometimes, and in particular,
old enough
the mom
to
did not
follow
like him
along
going over
on
to see his
a
uncle
fresh
because, his uncle lived a fairly dangerous
But the
life,
mother
going on expeditions
never
around the world and
let
all
me go
that.
willingly.
And now look where we're at. We're in an
Felt
alien
sure
world. We should have listened to her.
that it would be all right. But she never seemed
Yeah,
to
well,
stop
With,
worrying.
I'm having
With
fun.
what we're about to see, definitely.
I should have listened.
And meanwhile, the mom's just like, what is taking that boy so long to get down here for dinner?
Sora,
Oh.
dinner's ready.
I was about to say. The
You
one
better not
character
be with
that
your
screams-
uncle
See the
again.
glowing plant over there. I bet something will happen.
I'm trying to remember what was the name of the kid from Captain N again?
Kevin.
Oh, I don't remember.
Kevin, I told you to clean your room.
Oh,
On
yeah.
second thought, I'll stay here.
And now I'm just thinking of Home Alone. Kevin!
What did you do to my room?
It is real.
I love freaking the sequel.
You're
Like,
not scared?
we did it again! It's like, yeah, you guys probably shouldn't be parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like the Rugrats effect, which I love that they do kind of poke fun of that in Rugrats Go Wild, where it's like, I can't help but shake the feeling this has happened before.
and I still love the freaking. I think it was nostalgic, right? But it was talking about how Home Alone 3 doesn't work as a movie because the parents are always there. And
Yeah.
they continuously come back,
And they leave at the most inopportune times, and
and they keep leaving them,
most-
even though this is now the.
Fred has been with my
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say in the most inappropriate ways.
He helped us build it.
And the fact that despite the fact that the first 6 or so times, because I think it does rack up there, the fact that the first 6 or so times your son never was like actually hurt, the fact that he still called the police, the FBI, and like had all these people charging in there, like that alone, like you probably shouldn't be leaving your house
Without your
and
kid.
your child unattended when he's been calling the police several sick freaking times. And
Oh, here we go. Oh God, this
oh.
thing.
It's a
a
worm.
worm. Yeah, it's a giant worm. So
Over.
who likes stealth?
Okay then. Though actually, now,
Whoa, dude. I think I
dude, I know, right? It's a fucking eyeball worm.
An eyeball with teeth.
charge right out in front of
And
us.
wings, I think.
Oh, those are teeth. Devil
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of teeth. It's sharp, and so what happens? And it's happening once. It was like a nightmare freaking moment. So, what she was reading from that text thing earlier is,
Whoop.
"Don't move, Lois. Their sight is based on motion."
Where'd y'all go?
That's exactly what's happening here. So whenever his eyes out, do not move. He doesn't like eat you. What he does is he roars really loudly, and it pushes you off whatever platform you're on, and you're just kind of stuck.
Ah, so it's
Oh,
not the similar
Oh,
to
when,
the Silent Forest from Lost World.
When I first played this, I was so scared of what this thing would do to me that I just
'Cause,
like I did it perfectly. He didn't see me at all because I was
yeah.
just too scared to see what he would do.
Actually, now that I think about it, Screw Silent Forest, this is a straight up Scarecrow segment.
Could you imagine?
And the
I was
music.
thinking Scarecrow at first, but
Could you imagine this thing like if it saw you just like would jump out and like roar and like leap at you from its little alcove like
wouldn't
A
that be
happy ending
something
for
else? But anyway, just going back to the fact that the roar just pushes you back, I can't but think that, like, it doesn't damage you, it just pushes you back. I just get the idea of it's like, he's just roaring too loud. It's like, oh, you're too loud. Maybe if you back up a little bit. Fine.
now I'm thinking of we're getting close. I'm also now thinking of that bit from the Mickey shorts, the shh.
All right. I love that.
That was a fun. That was my.
And, like, even to his death, he still plays on to that. Like, he's yelling to his death, ah! Oh!
That's still my favorite.
Well, to be
bit
fair,
is
that
when
that didn't kill him. The avalanche when Mickey got to the top did.
That's still my favorite, and we did
But
it.
still, just the falling to his supposed death thing, he still was courteous enough to take that into
And
account.
that's still my favorite freaking bit is when Mickey's like, no, he's like, and he looks up and you like see the barber's eyes are narrowing like, it's just like, oh yeah, that is a problem. And guys,
Oh, another one.
what the?
What the?
This one says.
Ooh.
Oh. Here
Huh.
we go.
Welcome to my favorite level in the game.
It says, "Ooh, a fish.
Ooh.
Blimp.
Hello.
What's a fish?
Blimps.
Oh no, wait, those are blimps."
This is
Those
where
are
Grace
blimps.
built their
Fish-shaped
village.
blimps.
And what a
This
beautiful
is
place
the
they
Star.
chose.
This is Star Haven.
Just look at
This is
this
where all the
Star-
strays that left the
It's
village.
so-
Starhaven. Please, I call plagiarism.
That is right, doy.
Oh, that's right, Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened, yeah.
Completely
Like, it
forgot
took me a
about that.
second to.
But-
It took me a second to realize.
Sun on my
Yeah, it took me a
face.
second to realize what you meant by that. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking, like, seeing all these floating islands, Knuckles just holding the Master Emerald on his back, being like, one of these places would be a good hiding spot.
One of them.
Strange.
Honestly, it would be. At least you'd be a little more, like, indistinguishable than massive, hey, come rob this place. Actually, while we're here enjoying this music, which is amazing, I died. Enjoying this music, which is amazing, and this platforming, which is great. Oh, jeez. And the dogs.
Hang on a second.
Gui, have you heard about Paper Mario Pro mode?
Yeah. I think someone... It was one of you guys, I think. That
It was Logan.
That linked to it.
It was
yeah.
Along my journey,
It was
I have
me.
seen many
No, sorry.
pieces
So,
of floating
a friend of mine told me about it. I
islands.
didn't know it existed. So,
They
it's a
were
ROM
much
hack for
bigger.
the first Paper
Some were
Mario.
big enough to fit whole
And
villages.
it's
How
like...
was this possible?
They changed a lot of how the game works. Not okay. I should lie. They changed some of the badge point counts. Welcome back. They changed some of the damage values. Like first of all, every enemy does double damage now.
Right, yeah. I
Um,
saw the video.
The legends were true.
And, oh yeah, you saw that trailer thing.
Stray
Yeah.
civilization.
Oh, yeah, and
This
like
young
you can do boss refights that they change things up.
Yet,
Like to
they
spoil
were
some of it
making
in the
great
boss
progress.
refight for the
They
Oh, you're talking the
invented
Paper Mario thing?
machines.
yeah in the refight with the Koopa. What were they called? The Koopa Rangers or what were they called?
Oh, the Koopa brothers.
It was
Oh,
like
the Koopa
Yeah,
Bros.
the Koopa Bros.
civilization was formed
In the refight, every one of them can inflict status effects on themselves. Like the black one can make either of them invisible. The yellow one can inflict shock. The red one can make them more powerful. The green one can up their defense. And it's like, so you have to. These are like refights where you actually have to start using the star beam like an actual attack
In the village like that.
to like destroy all status effects.
They
And
did have
um,
a few, but
Just
never
imagine how that would be when you fight
villagers
Bowser.
thought the
oh,
crystals
there's a
were
lot of
sacred,
crazy stuff they
that
do.
they were the source of life.
It just seemed like a really cool way to re-explore and go back to some of those games and like
For his power
check it
points,
out.
yes. I guess he was an
Apparently,
exception.
another big thing I remember is
Strays.
they added in a bunch of new badges,
They
even badges that were going to be in the
and
game but
used
were
them
patched
for all
out.
sorts of machinery and
There was also and also an interesting mode which I don't know what you guys would think about it. So in the very beginning of the game, if you talk to Luigi, you can trigger something called Luigi's Challenge, which is if you talk to Luigi in the party just before it all
Hey,
starts.
let's play a
What's
game.
up?
I bet that you can't get through this part without using the grapple device.
Endangering my life for the purpose of fun, I'm in. It
I
takes
tried
Wait,
this. I
see-
got too
will she, like-
frustrated.
Well, like, what exactly is that? Like, are you actually not allowed to use it, or is it just an instance of, like, you won't get a special
You'll-
thing if you do use
It's just an achievement. So I'm just going to show you a route I found to get through this whole thing without using the grapple beam and only using power jumps. Again, this is entirely optional. There's a second thing that is also entirely optional that I will also show off. But for this trick, it is to get to the very end and get the little praise and the pat on the back to get all the way to this platform I'm on now without using your grapple beam once. So,
Nice.
You
yay!
did it. Good job.
Takes a little while. And
Shut up.
I think, yes, we now have enough to activate an unlockable.
Oh, you can
and
change the
it-
beam color.
Beam
Huh.
color.
And in honor of Gui having done the
What?
look at before, that should do it.
Aw.
Now we have
Thank you.
now we have the Queen beam.
Hooray!
Queen
It's
beam.
my color.
Looks very light, Queen.
I know. I wish I could change the saturation, but I can only really
It's
change.
fine.
The
It's
hue.
it's pretty accurate though.
Let's just keep going.
Actually, it kind of looks like It kind of looks like what color again, if your Dragon Sona could breathe lightning, it does look like the kind of color the lightning would
Yeah.
See that?
I did have an idea that, in my old Rayman fan fiction, she actually breathes green fire. Because I had the idea that maybe differently colored dragons could breathe color-coded fire.
Can you wear those?
I can see that, yeah.
Upgrade
Yeah.
your suit.
Let's
Not too
upgrade our
uncommon.
suit with the final mobility upgrade.
These are.
Rocket boots.
Oh,
Dear rocket boots.
The suit felt at least 20%.
20% cooler.
Super boots from the super.
Remember that? Remember when that was a thing?
Whoop.
Ah!
This helps so much.
Yep. So we now have a sort of.
So what exactly are?
Yeah, I'll explain. So we basically we have a sort of double jump, kind of. It only works one time in midair and gives us a big burst of speed in any direction we're looking. So it can either give you a good boost forward, a good boost up. Just definitely think of it as a last resort, though.
Honestly, the way I see it just in action, it almost makes it look like you're about to pass out before the thing just activates.
Oh, lordy.
Kind of.
It's like
Oh!
like screen fades to black.
And that
all
back
I-
there's just like, what's that smell?
Don't ask. It reminds me of this. It reminds me of this video that Celia and I watched that was hysterical, which was it's this guy on a roller coaster and he keeps passing out on all of the
Yes!
jumps of
I saw
everyone,
that one.
and it keeps playing the Windows.
Oh, I think I remember that.
And it was a Markiplier's try not to laugh thing. And my favorite bit is not even the passing out, it's the fact that he's like, oh shit, like he knows it's about to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there I go. Pass out.
Whee!
And
Whoa.
no.
Oh.
Ow.
Oh.
That's not well.
Oh,
I
ow!
can do this.
You know, when this is all over,
I can't feel my
and-
anything.
when this is all over, I'm gonna buy me a new pair of brown pants.
Something like that.
I'm gonna have to buy me a new everything.
So as you've been seeing, there's kind of a strategy to like releasing your beam at just the right moment, because you definitely, in most of these jumps, you don't want to grapple to something immediately. You just want to like slingshot your way away from it.
And now, never mind. I have to like,
go for it.
All right. And now
I think one of my favorite parts of this area is like just like they got the vastness down.
Yeah.
Like there's
Huge
like
in these massive rocks.
oh
Come on, get
And
it,
the-
get it, get it,
I
get
had
it.
to time it.
Ooh.
There we go.
Just to squeeze last one out.
and like the colors are just in perfect harmony.
Many people around
I love the sunset and like I think they're very smart in having this be like the main, like in all their advertising. Usually, it would show the person swinging around in this area in particular. It just looks so nice.
Mhm.
all her life.
I love the
And-
idea of these floating islands having lights like
Actually,
on their undersides.
the burning. Oh yeah, like you can imagine a
Ooh,
whole
a village.
like you can imagine an entire like underground village in that rock ahead of us and up.
Okay.
Beep beep. There she goes. Actually, this whole music here was reminding me. This music reminds me of the music in Talos Project.
Hi guys.
Or
I'm
Talos
Maddie
Principle.
from
The
village,
Talos
and
Principle?
This is my friend. He's looking
Yeah,
for
the kind of like the low strings. It was
Never heard
reminding me
of
of that music.
Yeah.
inside the caves before.
The Talos Principle.
This is
That's
Bingo, and
that's a
Tanya.
game all about existentialism.
Yeah, actually does a lot of that pretty interesting, like with robots.
Village
And,
is
it was
But
and
not
of all
like
things,
this.
it's made by the freaking people who did
We
Serious
don't have
Sam.
machines and crystals.
Never heard of that.
From using
James and I played a lot. It's a classic first person shooter.
crystals
game?
are our main source of
Serious Sam.
power.
Oh,
The
yeah.
life
A
in the
Serious
village
Sam.
is primitive.
Yeah.
Or should I say
Honestly, I don't think it'd be the kind of game.
Oh
you'd
yeah,
get
no,
into.
it's.
I say that, but then again,
I mean,
I've actually
granted,
learned some secret
it can be about as silly as at times as it's like say Dead Rising. So
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget that the one amazing
Well,
amazing enemy type that's literally just a headless mook with two bombs just shouting to high hell. Ah!
the kamikaze.
We shall
I
have
love them.
many things to talk about.
But yeah, I was about
Actually,
to say, I joke about how like that wouldn't be the type of
Me and my friend
artsy
are
intellectual
looking
game
for
Allie would be in, but nowadays it's kind of hard to decipher what exactly you're into.
I'm into a lot of little things,
we taught him how to harness
Yeah,
crystal
that's fair.
energy. He was headed down to the core of the
and
mountain.
you know, and sometimes it depends on the genre, sometimes it depends on how it's presented, like the
There's
artistic
some-
style.
And sometimes it depends on
And
how
it's-
French it is.
From here. Just follow the path
Yeah.
towards the mountain.
And
You
you
won't
know,
miss
and
it.
sometimes it depends on the story.
There.
It's just it's a combination of things.
Actually,
Yeah.
speaking of,
Well, I just say that
go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. You know, going back on the whole French thing, going back to the whole, pretty much making this a whole podcast. Gui, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Switch port of Brawlhalla?
I'm interested. I love what
gee, I wonder why.
Hey!
Get on. Thank you.
Whoa, what the?
Well, that was a little
Those
awkward.
people were so
Okay.
nice.
Took a second.
Anyway.
So wait.
We were strangers
What's in
at all,
Brawlhalla?
though we came all the way from
they're
the
adding
village.
Rayman to it.
They were helpful, and they were impressed by something I had done.
And because of that, everyone
There's
is
more
just
people in the
making
village,
the
but-
brass assumption of like, oh, that automatically means he's forbidden from being in Smash Brothers.
They're not saying he's forbidden. They're saying
Yeah,
that
I mean,
A lot of people are
well, to
making
be
it
fair,
like that.
people can be stubborn like that.
About
So,
my age.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm starting to
are
realize
very
that,
stubborn.
like, as far as like however many more people they'll put in Smash, Rayman's probably not on the top in that bar. So, for all we know, he might not make the default roster. He could be added in as DLC later if they decide to go that route.
Just a
Some
second.
of the dogs take offense to that.
Rayman for DLC?
Oh, wait.
I don't want to pay for my
Wait.
characters.
That doesn't rule it.
Oh, I love this.
I have a friend that says she wants to marry a vampire.
Really?
Well, that's good for her.
Cool.
You know, I knew a friend who used to be batshit insane about vampires.
yep.
Again, this is around the time. This game, I think, has some dated references in its humor. Like, that was clearly supposed to be about, like, the Twilight series.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of stuff were at the time. There's going to be at least one more dated reference related to Game of Thrones coming up. But,
Well, Game of
call that
Thrones
too dated.
isn't that dated. It's still going.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true. Jeez. Breaking Bad's would have been gone. Breaking Bad's been done for years. I have to keep remembering.
Maddie was silent for a while. It seemed like she was.
Ah, shoot.
Oh no!
Ah!
Look at this one. But yeah, I would just say that, like, again, I don't know how I freaking found this game, but I'm glad I did. It really is just a fun game. I haven't really found anything else that really plays with grappling like this in first-person perspective as well. I just think this is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And actually, now that the thing's back on screen, it's like, out in the distance, you will find the most annoying fucking boss in Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon.
Quickly, grab a hold of
I hate the ice stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
boss. was
spider.
annoying.
Oh, that's right, the ice spider. Screw that thing.
Was it a spider? I thought it was just a weird ice monster thing.
I thought it was a spider, and you're like falling down in a.
You do fight a spider in the first mansion. The fourth mansion, you just fought a really weird ice monster thing.
Oh, okay, that was
Yeah,
it.
I-
That-
Yeah.
For
and
some
you-
reason,
you're
I
only
don't remember that one.
and your only means of defense is with a potato gun,
Yeah.
or at least what may as well be a potato gun.
Wait, what's going on?
Is it just me, or does that guy kind of look like a cross between a frog and a lemur?
I think it's
I
because of
think
the
it's
hat
because-
he's wearing.
And the color and the fact that he has a beard. Like, don't tell anybody. This is just a prosthetic
Yeah.
beard.
I should go with you. I mean, I want to, but I also
So apparently, after having lived her whole life in the village, all it took was one conversation with 3 people that lasted all of 45 seconds, and she's saying, "Nope, abandon all that life. We're gonna live a new one
I
here."
want to be with you too, and help.
And
you
she's even
find
gonna
out
abandon our quest.
Aw, really?
Yeah,
told
I
Madeline
was really
that I would
disappointed when I had to
accept
leave her
whatever choice she
behind.
made.
Just because I felt
never
not
thought
okay.
about it until
Let's
now,
just get it
but
out of the way.
maybe-
Not because I
maybe
liked
it
her
wasn't
character too
right
much, but I was sad because, like, oh, I really wanted to develop it a bit more, but it's just already
Maybe I
over.
was just
It's a short
Yeah.
game.
Well, it's a short game. They can only get away with so much, and you could just argue that like she's
And I know
she's
that
gotten
if
so
anyone
much
but
like out of
it's
how
you.
much she's already been through.
Did you meet him?
She
Why
probably
did
just
you
can't handle that much more.
Tell him to come see me, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that
Thank
that
you.
is that
I'm
that does
glad
make
I met
sense.
you. And
Like,
if
even
only
if you are, like,
around.
dreaming of coming of exploring outside of your comfort zone.
To Maddie.
Even when you're out there, you can still get intimidated.
But even
Right.
in this sad moment, I was happy for her. She had found a place where she.
Well,
was
and I
safe.
shouldn't say comfort zone. I should say what
There was a
you
dampness
what
in
you
the air
already
that
know.
reminded me of the hot summer nights back home.
Oh, and time for that
As
last
the
little data
sun
reference I
was setting,
mentioned.
could feel the chill
We are
creeping
going
Winter
into
is
the ice
coming.
and
caves.
the path. we
Yeah,
were
it's
traveling
coming.
on seemed to lead us
Wait
into
for
the
it.
second ice age. Winter was coming.
There it is. So in the next and final part, actually, because that was already level 4 out of 5. In the last part of this whole thing, join us as we go into the ice caves to finally reunite with our uncle.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.